Hello, everyone, and we are here today to talk about our Standards Mastery Assessment in iReady. As you begin taking your assessments in iReady, we're going to first take a look at the actual passages and math assessments just to see how the text structure is done in the assessment, as well as how the questions are designed. Here's an example of a ELA or reading assessment that has two passages. At the top, as you can see, it says passage 1, and you would use your cursor to slide up and down to look at all of the passage. You would also, and I'm going to slide a little bit down so you can see everything. There is passage 1, and to read passage 2, you would simply select passage 2 and use the slide down toggle to slide up and down to read that passage. Your questions are located on your right-hand side. And on the right-hand side, as you can see, this is a drag question, You will drag your answer into the highlighted box. Once you drag your answer into the highlighted box, go down to the bottom and select your next question. Again, as you can see, the passage is there on your left-hand side, your first passage, and the second passage. Oftentimes, it is the exact same passage that you read for your previous question. But this gives you the option to review your passage with each question. And this is very similar to what you will see when you take the GMAT assessment. As we look at the actual question, the question choice has changed. Now it is asking you to choose 2. When it asks you to choose a specific number, that's how many checks or marks you need to put, answer choices you need to put in that section. So if it's asking you to mark 2, then you need to select your 2 best choices. Make sure you read the complete question all the way through so that you can answer the question correctly. As we look at our next question, this question is a 2-part question. There's a part A and a part B. Again, the passages are on the left, and the questions and answers are on the right. The first one is just a multiple choice question where you are only to select one possible answer. Part B is asking you to select in the paragraph a sentence. You would select that sentence by simply clicking on that sentence and having it highlighted as your answer choice. As you can see, you can highlight multiple parts or just that one part as your answer. Based on whatever the question is asking you to do, that is exactly what you would do. Move on to your next question. This is a drop-down menu style question. You would simply look at the drop arrow icon, click it, select the correct answer in that question, from that question. Select the correct answer in each one of those drop-down menus. So you should no longer see choose in any one of them once you selected your answer. You move on to your next question, and now it again is a drag and drop. So you will simply drag your answers in the correct space and drop them there. Make sure you are filling each box or each area as indicated in the question. As it says 1 item for each box, that is exactly what you would do. This is an example of a lower grades reading test. Now let's look at an upper grades reading test. For upper grades, again, you will have your passage on the left-hand side, questions on the right. And again, your questions you have, instead of just maybe a part A and a part B, this one has a part A, B, and C. And your A is just a simple multiple choice. Part B is asking you to do a multi-select choice where you will select more than one. It says 2, so you will select 2. And then for your answer choice C is a drop down. And again, you need to make sure you put something in each one of those select something from each one of those drop down menu choices. Another example, again, they're asking you to select 2. is a multiple choice, multi-choice question. So you would select 2. This one is just a simple multiple choice where you're only selecting 1. And this one is a drag and drop or putting items in sequential order. So you will be moving items around by simply hovering over them, selecting that item, and dragging it down. Once you select it, you will drag it to whatever area you see fit. Once you have all of your items in order on either assessment, you would hit your submit. It will ask you if you are sure. Once you are sure, you would submit, and you will find the answers to your assessment or your score from your teacher almost immediately. Now let's look at math. This is a sample of a second grade math assessment. Again, you have this is a 2-part question, just like in ELA. There are drop down where you will drag an item from this section that is located at the bottom. And I will move my cursor down a little so you can see it. Sometimes you will have to move your cursor down on your far right hand side so you can see all of your choices. You will select that answer inside that box and place it, inside that box. Once you place all of those choices, move over to your next one. On this one, it is asking you to select the one possible answer. It is not a multi-answer question, It is just a multiple choice answer choice. Another example is where you have to select all. So it is not giving you a specific number, but is asking you to select all. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be all of them. But you have to read the question to answer that question correctly. And then finally, this is another one where you will have to select based on each row. So on the first row, you will simply choose yes or no, or if there is a number, you will select that number or a true or false. But for each row, you have to answer each item specifically, individually. That is an example of a lower grades assessment in math. Here's an example of an upper grades assessment in math. Again, you will have multiple choice, a multiple choice type question. You will also have, again, another type of multiple choice question. You could have the drop-down menu question where you have to select the answer. And remember, you want to make sure you do not see choose in any one of your boxes if you're ready to move on. You also have a multi-step question, a part A and a part B. On this one, you are entering your answer in the box. When you click on the box, a calculator will appear on your screen where you can either select the numbers, a keypad. You'll either select a number, your symbols, or if you're trying to do fractions, exponents, dollar signs, greater than, less than, any of your symbols are located here. If you make a mistake in the box and you want to delete it, you would hit that X button to delete it. If you want to move over in the box, you would move using these arrows, not the keys on your computer. You would select your item. You can hit the X to move out of that menu. You also have your drop down again where you will select those arrows and select your correct answer choice. Once you've selected your answer choice, you will hit submit. Please remember that some of the items that you saw in the lower grades, you will also see in the upper grades. It was not, this example was not to show you upper grades and lower grades, but just to show you how there are a wide variety of answer choice style questions on these different assessments. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask your teacher. Once you're finished with any one of the assessments you do, please make sure you hit submit. Make sure you've answered everything. And once you submit your answers, your teacher will get your score. Thank you. Have a great day.